Democrats are doubling down on their tax the rich dreams, and now new numbers show wealthy Americans are running for these low tax hills. Wow, can you imagine that? IRS data revealing red and purple states are reaping the benefits, racking up tens of billions of dollars in income. Florida leading the pack, gaining more than $20 billion in just 1 year. That's not monopoly money, folks. That's real. And as blue states continue to push tax hikes, the losses are piling up. No surprise, New York and California have lost the most wealth. So Josh, I'll come to you on the money aspect of it. I mean, you look at these numbers and they're substantial. You've got a state like Florida. Yeah. Reaping the benefits of this to the tune of $20 billion, but Texas, $5.5 billion. Tennessee, $2.8 billion. Yeah. And then, here on our coast, New York lost $9.9 billion. And New Jersey, partner in crime, lost $2.6 billion.
The numbers are huge. And it's not that surprising when you think about who's leaving, right? We're not talking about, some small family is moving from New York to Florida. No, we're talking about massive hedge funds that left New York and decided to go operate in Florida and are probably never coming back, right? And same with California. When we talked about California before in the show, all the back and forth of the companies leaving there, you're talking about massive tech companies entirely leaving the state, right? So it's not just their founders who have left, right? Mark Zuckerberg now has a house in Florida, right? He's not spending most of his time in California, but it's all of their employees, right? And these are well-off employees that you're talking about, tech company employees that get paid very well.
So the growth engine for the state.
Just
you're taking
leaves.
them and
just
putting them
absolutely
somewhere
leaves.
else.
Yes.
So Kennedy, you brought it up in the context of California with Thomas. We've had enough models to show us when you overtax, you kill it and you ruin it. And so many times we debate on this panel, what is the objective of that? Or why don't they see what Illinois looks like and understand that this isn't going to work? I say they see what states and cities look like after this happens, and they don't care. They want to see them degraded and destroyed to a certain degree at a different level, in a more sort of in their quest for equality. Everything is going to look different, and they're okay with that.
Yeah, so their quest for equality instead of equality, meaning that people are aspirational and you encourage people to start businesses and to succeed, it is much better for them to bring everybody down.
Right.
But unfortunately, in order to do that, you have to have these high tax rates. And in places like Washington State, there used to be no income tax. Well, now they've passed it. So there's essentially a 10% tax on anyone making over $1 million. Guess what's next door to Washington State? Idaho. Idaho has a low state flat income tax. It's 5.3% for everybody. It's also a state that enjoys a lot more freedom. So every high tax state has a neighbor that is just waving people in. In California, it's Texas, it's Nevada. So people go there, the weather is just as warm, and the environment is rich for people to go and, put up a shingle, start their own business, and live the American dream. That has become an impossibility in California. I saw Gavin Newsom a few years ago, and he's like, you're going to make fun of me? Wah. And I said, no, I'm going to give you a simple recipe to save this state that I love. Lower taxes, cut spending. And he's like, oh yeah, cut taxes and cut spending. Right. And he was so smug about it. But it's like, that's it. Like the cause and effect, there's never been anything more evident in the political economic environment. But the fact that they don't see it just goes to show places like California, New York, and Illinois, they are beholden to public sector unions. And, sometimes that doesn't enter into the conversation, but that is also the great bilking of these states.
So I think to your point, they do see it, and that degradation is okay with them over time. And Taylor, we talk about cities, for example, trying to bounce back. And we've been optimistic in the past. The pendulum swings in this country, and voters realize the error of their ways. So here in New York City, you had these young wokesters that put Mamdani in. Well, when he starts doing all these taxes that we talked about in the last hour, and they start to hit your pocketbook, maybe you're going to start to think about it differently in the next election. But at some point, there's going to be a tipping point where, whether it's a city or a state, you can't just put a Republican in and turn it back around. Now, in the case of California, maybe Steve Hilton will win.
Steve Hilton.
He was on with us the other night, and he sounded great. But there'll be a point when there's no hope that a Steve Hilton can even fix it anymore.
So here's my worry. This is like a talking point that Mamdani uses, and this is on that story how Massachusetts enacted their millionaires tax in 2022, and then they lost $4 billion. but here's the talking point that's working for them. Despite the tax's implementation, the number of residents moving out fell year over year. Net outflows from Massachusetts long predate the millionaire's tax, and total lost income was higher in 2021, pre-millionaire's tax, than it was in 2023. I'm not saying I agree with this
Because they were locking people down more in 2021, and they're like, I'm out of this state.
Well, year over year, people
Yes.
leaving too, right? And as someone that spent some time in Massachusetts over the pandemic, a lot of people left during the pandemic and then
Yes.
didn't come back, right? They left in 2020 and 2021. So then by now, if you start looking at year over year numbers, it would make sense that it might favor them to some extent, I would think, because you had a lot of people already leave. So it's not like it's really
my only
improving.
worry is that's like the talking point. That's what Mamdani says.
That's what Elizabeth Warren says.
That's
she
how they're
convinces-
doing it.
But
And
it's
they're
like,
convincing people. Like, see, the millionaire's tax didn't cause it. This was happening before. We just need you to pay
We
your
were
fair
bad
share.
way before we did this. So we're not, now we're like just barely worse. It's okay.
I'm just throwing that out there.
No, can I throw another one out there? This is like flipping it on its head. I don't disagree with any of these numbers. People are leaving bad states. But states who are getting all these people, watch out. Watch out.
No, you know
who's
what I
coming
watched?
to your state.
So is it who's voting, or
Senator
here's my
Jasmine
bigger
Crockett.
issue?
I'm talking about, okay,
What
so.
about all the infrastructure, all the schools
Well,
that they're going to need to build,
No,
all of the
okay,
roads
so
that they
there's
need
that,
to build?
and then you get all these people from formerly blue states who all voted and funded all the stuff they don't
Yep.
like, and they show up because I want lower taxes, okay? But then these places are like, well, we need more roads and we
Yeah.
need more schools.
We need
And
to
what
raise
are these
taxes.
formerly blue state people going to do? Oh, we should fund public schools as much as possible.
Yep.
And let's do big public works program. I mean, you got some of these states on this gaining money list who are like getting pretty purpley. Okay, North Carolina, Tennessee,
Oh, my
even
NASCAR,
Tennessee. Well, okay, Arizona. I'm just saying. Now I know Texas. I don't know if Tallarico's going to win, but if you're getting these folks in these states, I think it's good for you. But you better blue-proof your red state. Because these people come for the taxes, but they're going to get in their social set in Miami. They're going to get in their social set in Dallas. They're going to get in their social set in Nashville. And guess what you're going to get? A lot of blue state thinking.
I'm not saying that I'm not worried about that, because you do have to worry about it. But anecdotally, my liberal friends who all moved to Florida during the pandemic and after, they're like, we can't stand it, how red it is here, and there are Trumpers everywhere, because Florida has actually gotten even redder to a certain degree, and they're all looking now for blue pastures to go to, because ideologically and just because they can't, it makes their skin crawl to be around people who voted for
Because they're
Donald
very into diversity and inclusion.
Right,
So
so
their
inclusive.
skin crawls when
That's it.
somebody disagrees with them.